Press and enter and done. All the social media set up and software testing is complete. Electronic payment system's ready. It's all working, Julian. Where it go, buddy?
No fucking way, Buzz. You know what? You are the fucking man, buddy.
Oh, I know I'm the fucking man. I mean, I honestly don't think there's a snowball's chance of fucking hell this business is gonna work, but I did my best. Here we go.
Electricians, dishwashers, floor cleaners, lawyers, doctors, fucking politicians, CBC employees, principals, people who paint the lawns in the fucking roads. Get stoned, it'll be fun, get to work.
We listening to songs. We on, dude. We doing this again. We are goddamn live. Live shaman shit on the air. Drinking my shaman tea, the concoction from my cabinets, dude.
The elixir.
Get that fucking potion in, dog.
No, I just ate the ingredients. Fuck the potion. I just eating the. How else, Yakov? How else are you going to raise your alchemy level if you don't eat the ingredients?
By making potions. I mean, look, I've played Skyrim. First, you eat all the ingredients to see what they do all at once. You go, ah! And then you know what all of them do. That's how we roll.
We paralyze ourselves in the middle of our bedroom.
Ow!
10 seconds.
Ah! That's how it feels when the Robitussin be hitting. So we got a little bit of new music playing now. We got Tavi, our boy Tavi, with some 200, 400, some amount of hertz relaxation music for your brain. Maybe we should pull up the 692 hertz to induce anxiety music.
Hell no. That make me feel like somebody's like banging doors, like opening and closing with the doors in my house.
There's somebody in my crawl space.
Yeah.
That's the music I would listen to. What about 432 hertz music to make your penis really small and your prostate really large?
Sissy, is that falling under Sissy Hypno?
No, it just makes you pee a lot. You have to pee a lot suddenly.
Huh.
That's what's up, dude. That's what's up, tubes. How you guys doing there in chat, dude? How we holding it down? That's all I'm hoping. Got Baron in the chat. We got Jerry Bab. Hey, bros. Hello, Jerry. Midwest Vikinger want to go down to the Amazon and show a tribesman a picture of a skinwalker. See what they think. Get that skooma, boys. Moon sugar does the body good.
They're probably going to tell you about their own version of the Skinwalker.
Well, as far as I can tell, all of these shamanic schools of thought, whatever you want to call them, they all have some sort of lore about skin changing. There are animal shapeshifters in like every culture. It's only really looking at like even looking at some of the Semitic stuff, like Islam, for example. Dogs are associated with jinn. I've heard it said that they could transform into dogs and serpents and stuff. I've also heard that dogs are like pack animals for jinn, stuff like that. What kind of animal you want to be, Flame? What's your spirit animal?
It's avian. It's avian.
You're Boyd?
Huh? Yeah.
What kind of Boyd?
The hawk, dude.
A hawk. Why? What are the attributes of the hawk?
The swiftness, the keen, the freedom. The
freedom, the sharp eye, the brutality.
I think every animal is brutal in one way or another. That's why.
What about a deer?
Nature metal. Oh, even a deer.
You ever see a deer eat a baby chick? Just eat it.
I think I've seen that. I think I've seen a video of that.
It happens. It happens.
Even the meekest animals are metal in one way or another.
I choose the hyena. The hyena is my animorph.
Your animorph? Animorph?
Yeah, it's my animorph. Is a hyena because they can't stop laughing at whatever stupid shit is occurring, even if they're getting like ripped apart or something. And when they join together, they can beat up a lion. They beat his ass. Bubble, bubble, bobble. How do I turn shuffle on? How do I make it play everything? Just play everything, dude. Okay. God willing, Winamp player will work. Unbelievable. Over here using Winamp player and can't even get it right. What's up with that? Alright.
Microsoft stopped supporting it. Stopped supporting it after like 10, 20 years.
Jerry Babs got a natty ice over there. The patrician choice is what they say. I'm not too sure about that. I was drinking natty ice lemonade vodka the last time I did mushrooms. The most recent time I'm drinking peach Pinot Grigio. It's delicious. based furries. Yeah, that's always been the thing. Is like the animal form is such an obvious thing for like the shaman bit.
Yeah, it's so funny. It's the perversion. The furry is the perversion of taking the animism of ancient mystics and perverting them, because you it's like I bet there was a shaman that was like a freak like that. That was disgusting. And he was like, he would like sit there and meditate on how monkeys fuck. Like all
It is interesting that you say that it's the perversion like that, because I think that's often that's how I see like the trans stuff is like wanting to balance the male and female aspects of the mind and not realizing that it's all mental and spiritual. It's not physical. There's nothing physical you can do about it.
From the psychological standpoint is that these people they get a kick out. It's a erotic fixation on dressing up as the opposite gender is to transform themselves into that gender so they could be the partner. So like if everything about it is like, I mean, drag, like the reason why they're doing drag is they're getting a kick out of it.
For sure.
So
for sure. And you were also talking about doing like the degenerate shaman who's like, I will be the monkey's fucking. Now the thing is, that's not how you gain the power to become a monkey fucking. Usually in the lore, what you have to do is you have to kill and or eat a loved one. That's how you get the power to skin change.
Oh yeah.
That's what they say. So it's always something a little bit dark. Even when you read the mythology and it says like there was a time when the skinwalkers were good, like they probably had to do some sick shit to get there. There were left-hand paths in all of these schools of thought, and everybody knows that like
if they were so common, then, and if they were good, there must be another path that is probably hidden.
Yeah, I mean that's the exoteric and the esoteric. Like Manly P. Hall says, there's two parts of every religion. There's the part for the masses and the part for the adepts.
Yeah, so like what we probably know is like the cannibalism of the loved one. That's probably a left hand path for that. There's probably a right hand to it.
Well, usually the way I generally see this is abilities like the cities, the more powerful ones, they take like what is essentially, I want to forego the idea of like negative or positive karma, but they take tremendous amounts of karma. So I don't know exactly if you could, but the thing is,
doing that, like.
I don't know exactly. Well, the thing is, they say like a curse. If to curse somebody, it brings that karma back onto you sevenfold. Whatever bad shit you're putting someone through, that's going to come back to you even more so, probably in another life. So it's that entanglement. And now these cities, these abilities, even in like the monks in the most right hand forms of Hinduism and all of this stuff. The cities aren't anything. They are essentially parlor tricks. Even if a guy can materialize a gold coin in his hands, just materialize it, that is still, even taken as it legitimately being a gold coin that he materialized in his hands, it's essentially taken as a parlor trick. It's not good for anything except making some idiot believe, maybe. So when you look at like these things like skin changing, something that's even heavier, even just that much crazier, it's going to take a lot of a karmic debt entanglement to do that. And the thing is, even with these smaller cities, this like materializing something in your hands, when you do that for somebody, you are entangling yourself with them. There is something karmic going on between the two of you. You have now injected yourself like into their spiritual development. And that can be good or bad, but regardless.
So, like there is like so like the thing is that like you're saying like these who are the people doing this from the city? Is that what you call them?
The cities are like mystical powers you get from meditation, according to Eastern mysticism.
The men who practice
yogi.
The yogi. Yeah. So the yogis have figured like before even attempting to do that, what would the repercussions be of doing so?
A good yogi, a rishi perhaps, would see into the future and be able to know the right path. Or they would know some method of negating the karma before they did it, so that it all balances out.
Yeah. I see.
Is what they would say.
And, you know, the crazy thing is, like, we read a lot of, like, fantasy novels and stuff like that where, like, there's complete disregard of what these repercussions would be, because of, you know, they do have stories of conjuring up. Imagine how fucked up the karmas and the world of Dungeons and Dragons or Skyrim and shit like that.
These are reflections of our own reality, dude.
Yeah.
That's what it is. The monsters you see in fantasy are just like personifications of the real monsters we fight every day.
True,
like we are ruled by fucking Mordor or whatever, dude.
Yeah.
Like that's what's going on. They are high-level dark sorcerers controlling our society. It has to be seen like that, and even if you don't believe in these things, they're affecting you. The shit that these fucking people in power believe is affecting you. It's always been the priesthood who's in control of the king. Always. They know that. They know it's always been the magicians doing spells, and the propaganda you see today is no different. That's why the homie Humble Among on Twitter today, he was talking about how the whole UFO thing is just an excuse for a bigger defense budget. And he's absolutely right. He's absolutely right. There's a lot of talk about, like, what are they? Balloons, aliens, Chinese, American shit. And it's like, a lot of people even want to be like, it's not China. It's just American stuff. But why? Why wouldn't it be China? Does it not benefit everybody for China to project that sort of power globally? For America to be able to shoot down some fucking spy thing? Does that not benefit everybody? China got to project their power. America literally loses nothing because our government's full of Chinese spies anyway. It's almost like we have an agreement with China to spy on each other.
We lost a lot of taxpayers' money when they shot that missile.
Oh, no.
That was my insurance money that blew up that fucking the fucking balloon. That popped the balloon.
And you know, but it's a balloon. So the funniest thing is, like, it is the weather balloon. It's the weather balloon meme. They're laughing about this. It's a joke to them.
Is that really what that was?
Yeah. There was a balloon involved, most definitely.
People like freaking out. It's like
Dude, there will never ever be a day when they're just like, aliens are real. Like, it won't happen. The whole purpose of all of this stuff is to deflect responsibility and get paid for it.
Wasn't there a UFO sighting that, like, just conveniently happened while, like,
they've been shooting unidentified objects down, dude. The government admitted, yeah.
Yeah,
it's tied into the whole... It started with the Chinese balloon and somehow became UFOs. With no mention of space at any point in any of these UFO sightings. It's never in space. It's, like, never higher than an airplane. I never see them go into space. I see them go into the ocean. It's like, maybe they were never from space, dude. And that's the thing, is like, what they're showing us, at least, is all man-made technology. And they're showing it to us as if it was aliens, but never saying it's alien. We can't confirm, cannot confirm. So that if they said it was aliens, they'd have to have a plan in place for how to deal with it. They don't want no plan. What they don't want is you to look at the sky, see some anti-gravity device, and be like, that's the fucking government. They don't want you doing that. They don't want you looking at the sky and being like, we're being invaded by aliens, the government has to do something. No, they don't want to do anything. They want to be like, ooh, spooky video. 1 million clicks. Everybody gets paid. China benefits, America benefits, aliens benefit. The only one who doesn't benefit is your dumbass.
What if they don't really know anything? What if they're that ignorant as we are?
Aliens? The government's more ignorant than we are. Somehow, magically.
But what if the conspiracy theorists are giving them way too much credit?
Well, I don't think it's this conspiracy theorists. The conspiracy theorists have always said that these people are like psychos who don't know what they're doing. That's always been the conspiracy theorist take. Even if they're like reptilian aliens, they're still psychos. And from our perspective, they don't know what the fuck they're doing. So I at this point, to be honest, I'm like at the point where it's like conspiracy theorists were right. And like, no duh. Like, they were right about Pizzagate, they were right about 9/11, they were right about this and that, sure. But more than that, they were right about the entire like aesthetic and like branding and marketing. Flat out, dude.
What do you mean by that?
Because, well, first of all, now like we're in a world where like we're in a world that's like saturated with hot takes and starved of hot takes. Everyone's got the hottest take to the point where none of it's relevant, nobody cares about any of it. I'll tell you this, the only place I find hot takes now is going back to like 2010 era YouTube conspiracy paranormal shit. Because that's where like all of the takes we run with now came from. There's still takes there, dude. There's still takes that haven't been hit, that have just still been mocked, but are still right. I think
like what?
Huh?
Explain it. Like, tell me one. Like what?
Going harder, like I get real wacky with it. Like, I think the Obama was a clone of the Pharaoh Akhenaten was a really good one. I think clones.
I was hoping you'd say a cooler one than that one.
That's the coolest one in the world, dude. I love that one.
Oh, gosh,
that Obama was a clone of Akhenaten, and he looks just like all the busts of him. And then he went to Egypt, and he was looking at shit, and he was like, oh, that guy looks just like me. Then there's a pharaoh that, or I don't know if it was a pharaoh, I don't know who he was, but looked just like Michael Jackson. And not OG Michael Jackson, like new Michael Jackson. Just like him. Fucking bizarre. But now, it's not that I want to like run with the clone thing. I could. I'm not against it. But the thing is now...
What if it's reincarnation? What if we reincarnate as the same person?
It's all about...
There's just so many people in the world that there's no way. Like,
it's all about holograms and shit now, dude.
Holograms, dude. How is holograms gonna do with reincarnation?
Well, it's not reincarnation, but I'm saying like the equivalent of the Obama is a clone take is Biden is a hologram.
That's funny.
Yeah, it's true. I don't know if that one hasn't taken off the way it should have. He's a hologram. I'm not saying Joe Biden doesn't exist, but he's never where he's supposed to be. He's never where he's stated to be. He's on a green screen at best. Yeah.
There's like a weird video that I saw recently of Joe Biden. He is in a restaurant, and he's sitting down eating with his wife. A lady is accosting him from far away, talking about like, you know, just stupid the whatever politics, I was about to say Libyan war, the fucking Ukrainian war, you know, complaining about like people are dying and all this stuff, and he's accosting her, and Joe Biden is not even phased at all. He sits there as if like he's completely oblivious that this woman is shouting at him, which I found was kind of weird. Didn't even acknowledge her. Or it's like he's just sitting there just eating. So I thought that was.
It sounds like the sort of crap that they would make to like meme it. To look how cool Joe Biden is, while
no, I don't think it was like in that picture. It was like,
why would they show it then?
The video is the point of view from the woman accosting Joe Biden.
Oh, and he's just an automaton.
Yeah, he's just like completely like doesn't like it's almost as if like he's just so focused on him and his wife, and he's just sitting there eating his food.
I mean, this takes back to the like old conspiracy videos. You'd have videos of Bill Clinton just sitting there like this.
Oh yeah,
it would go on for like a half hour, and he's just sitting there.
Oh, yo, those are so trippy.
Like, or there's videos of like news people, like Al Roker is one who like there's some shit they're doing some news bit. And he's like, Al Roker here talking about the weather, and like someone else starts talking, and he just zones out.
What?
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah,
this has always gone back to it goes back to mind controlled slaves and shit. This stuff is real. I'm telling you. To not be focusing on this is a total mistake. To not look at the Epstein situation and like all of the mind control stuff confirmed. Like they are creating. There's always talks about like they would take your mind control subject and they would put them in like the world of Alice in Wonderland. They would just like do through the looking glass, one way or the other, by like projecting images into their mind or having people with costumes and shit like that, and just like going into it. And you know that's what they're doing at these weird islands. How far can you push sex? You know what I mean? How far can you push it? What can we add to this? Yeah. Like they're gonna add children. There's stories of Roger Stone running around wearing a bull mask, face fucking people. You're going to add fucked up drugs. You're going to add setting, right? Your fucking weird temple or whatever the fuck you're using. These are setups for sexual mind control, and some people are doing it knowingly. The way people will, they'll fucking inject meth and jerk off for 12 hours. They did that knowingly, but they engulfed themselves into that world. They became that world. And then other people are doing it. They don't know what's going on. They just woke up in a weird place, dude.
No. It's trauma-based mind control. Sex used in a very negative way is no longer a lovemaking thing, but a domination thing. They pervert the sweet act of lovemaking into this, traumatizing for people who are not ready for that. So traumatizing, like for people that they don't want to have that, or they have no idea about that, or I hate to say it, but too young.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and these are people ruining their minds, just like a junkie ruins their minds.
The thing is, I do want to add this part is that like a lot of the, like you see this with the Epstein thing, and this thing is connected with government as well. We all know that. And then on top of that, all right. Don't want to get dogs, bro. I'm just messing. Okay, so like, they're connected. All these people are connected, and the funny thing is, I just lost where I was going with this.
I could tell.
Like, the assurance is just really funny.
I'm just getting there, dude. I'm just getting there.
Yeah. Help me out, Yak.
Or where was I gonna go with it? Where was I gonna go?
I'll remember here in a second. Just give me a second.
Yeah, so it turns out that people are really easy to control via, like, stimuli. Give them enough stimuli, and they'll take that over anything healthy, anything good for them. You have experiments of the monkeys who they'd have, like, food and cocaine. Oh, they chose cocaine.
I remember reading up on this. Like I was my point I was about to say, the CIA basically went to satanic cults and stuff like that. Like when people who are involved in human trafficking, and they adopted their techniques as the base for trauma-based mind control, or the MK Ultra, also known as the Project Monarch. They also as well
checks out.
Yeah, they as well, like they but the thing is like the trauma-based mind control is making split personalities within these individuals. That's why they got away with Sarhan. That's why Sarhan is sitting in jail today, not knowing what the fuck happened that night. The dude was basically just mind completely dominated mentally by these people.
Yeah, he seems like a guy who was totally wiped, who didn't know where he was, what he was doing, anything like that. Classic case, really.
So they went to these satanic cults. I'm sorry, I'm chewing my eyes. I'm very unprofessional. I'm sorry.
It's delicious, though.
They need to wipe my mouth. So like, so they went to these satanic cults and they learned all these things, and they're basically like because of the actions like these CIA like black ops and stuff were doing. They sometimes they had to deal with like civilians, like people who aren't in the what do you call it, CIA. This stuff gets leaked out to people like the Epstein people. That sort of get the adrenochrome and all this. It's all self-sustaining. It's all a self-sustaining like the incestuous pot of.
You had mentioned that the CIA went to the cults to get their formulas for creating a perfect mind-controlled slave, but I'm not so sure about that.
Well,
it seems like it's
not perfect.
Oh, I was quoting Fritz Springmeier, but
well, the thing is
for me, it's like a chicken or the egg thing. I don't know where they got, and it's clear all of these sex cults are connected to the CIA.
Is relatively new. The thing is, like this
That's
kind of stuff.
What I'm saying is, you'd have to go back to like the OSI and shit like that. Something tells me these people have always been involved. Not that the CIA preceded sex cults, but it seems to have. I think it was always ingrained in them, and then it spawned a million of them. The CIA, and I don't think this even needs to be said. There's no reason for it to exist. There's no reason. It only does bad things. It's only needed if you have an empire that needs to be held up with fucking shoestrings and gum. Doesn't have to exist. No. And yeah, to be honest, we can just like abolish government. I'm fine with that at this point.
No, there's too much power to be had.
Well, that's my point. I want a little. I want my piece.
Too much power to be had. Old, greedy men, hold on.
They do be holding. You're holding on. Ah.
But yeah, again, they cannot hold on forever, and they will soon die. And then, unfortunately, all that burden will fall upon our shoulders.
Checking out chat here. Scar asks, didn't the Eastern list get released this week? The Epstein, he missed twice. I was sure he meant Eastern. Epstein list. I mean, I have the Epstein book, like, on my computer. I could pull it up and start reading from it. But, like, it's not necessary. Matt Groening was there. Simpsons were there. Everything was there. Gwen Stefani from No Doubt there. No doubt she was there. So, I don't know. It's not the important thing to always remember is that they were all there. They all knew. Everybody knew. They were all hanging out. There's, you don't need anything more than that. You don't. Scar says it's their addiction, the sex and the drugs and the insanity. That's true. Mugwort says, we know about the human pig chimeras, but what about the human cat chimeras? That brings us to another point, kind of back to the cloning thing again, is that, dude, I'm telling you, there is some rich guy with a fucking thylacine, with a fucking Tasmanian tiger right now. I miss that boy. I never got to say goodbye to that boy. You understand? I want him. We got to go break him out. But now, I say thylacine. I'm worried about the mammoths, the thylacines, etc. They got cat boys, dude.
Are you the same dude that was telling me about the chupacabra being the fucking Tasmanian devil?
No.
I heard some person say that. I was like, dude, like, stop. If it was the Tasmanian devil, like...
Tasmanian tiger, right? Tasmanian devil's a different thing. Or do you mean Tasmanian devil?
No, educate me. Because
Tasmanian tiger's extinct, Tasmanian devil's not. The devils are smaller. They're like little nasty boys, but they're small. Tasmanian tigers look like dogs.
Yeah. Okay. It's probably...
They're closely related to each other. Yeah. Now, I kind of get that, because when you look up like chupacabra sightings, with the videos you see are coyotes and foxes and raccoons sometimes. So I can see how you would see like a mangy raccoon or a mangy fox and see a thylacine, because it goes the other direction. When you're looking up thylacine sightings, you'll see foxes. You'll see mangy foxes.
Yeah.
Because you suddenly have the thin tail. You know, you don't obviously see a fox. The way to tell is in the gait, if it's walking exactly like a dog would walk. And also, foxes have longer legs than a thylacine would have. Also, it's obviously a fox usually. So there's that. But, yeah, that wouldn't make any sense. Because chupacabras are from Puerto Rico.
Hey, Texas and... fucking Mexico and
barely. They're from Puerto Rico. When you see them from America, they're like always coyotes and foxes.
I don't even know, dude.
Scar says they're cloning mammoths next year or something. But the fact is, that's just like another UFO thing. Like, they're going to announce aliens next week. You're not going to get any of this shit. They're keeping it all to themselves. There's no amount of money that's worth giving it to your ass. Sorry.
You know, they fucking say, like, Puerto Rico is like a hotbed. You just said Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico is a fucking hotbed for UFO shit, dude.
It's a hotbed for a lot of things. It's a hotbed for biological experiments.
They say there's a lot of crazy shit that go on in El Yunque.
Back to the chupacabra. The chupacabra reports, the original chupacabra reports that aren't a fucking coyote, the original ones are cattle mutilations, or goat mutilations, as it were. It's the same thing. It's the same phenomenon, just applied by a less technologically adept group of people. It's the exact same phenomenon, where you had the tongues removed, the blood drained, weird incisions.
It was like an animal doing it.
Yeah, and there were some sightings, but most of the reports of the chupacabra were goat mutilations. That's what the name means, goat sucker. All the blood was sucked out of the goats.
To be honest, like they want to blame it on chupacabra thing. I want to believe in the chupacabra, but that whole draining of a animal like that just sounds occult to me. That sounds
Well,
like some sort of fucking witch or wizard.
It's interesting because now it's like, all right, well, now that I know they're the same phenomenon, which they are, either there are chupacabras in America or there are aliens in Puerto Rico. You say there's UFO sightings, sure, but there's no correlation necessarily between aliens and cattle mutilations. You could point to some stories, some reports of like cattle parts being found in UFOs that have crashed or something, but they're really fucking tenuous. It's not actual evidence of anything. So what your concern is here is what the fuck is happening in both of these places that's, needing like cattle mutilations or whatever. The occult one is a good explanation. One thing to keep in mind is that we haven't heard reports of this stuff happening in a very long time. Few and far between, at least. So one thing I heard is that it was testing for nuclear radiation. So they would like pull out the most sensitive parts, the most sensitive organs, the things that would accumulate this stuff, the radiation the most. That was taken out specifically. So it was like the soft tissue in the mouth, the anus, that sort of thing.
Really, that's interesting because that is like the first things that would go if somebody had severe radiation poisoning, right?
I think so. This is what I heard. What the hell do I know? But
But
so
like
the time
even-
period kind of makes sense when you start thinking of like the early 90s.
What about the biblical? There's a biblical reference. Trying to remember
There is, I don't know where it is. I want to say it's some Revelation thing. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
No, it's actually not. It's not Revelation. I want to say it's Old Testament. But there is references to people's eyes and tongues like melting away, like, inside them.
Yeah, and it specifically says like I think does it say the tongues, like tongues and
It's been a verse that's been applied to like a nuclear blast. Now, I don't know about that. Like, I feel like if you're in like a nuclear blast, like you're not worried about your eyes and tongue. You're gone, dude. Everything's gone.
oh yeah, everything's gonna deteriorate.
So I don't know. I don't know what that could be referencing. It could very easily, now, eyes and tongue very easily could be symbolic. You are blind and you can't speak the truth.
Yeah.
You don't know the truth. You don't see it. You don't speak it. Separation from God, essentially.
What about the animals that are being?
What about them?
So the animals are being taken their tongues and shit out,
Yeah,
right?
so the thought was that it was governments testing animals for radiation because they were doing weird stuff, or there was like a nuclear plant that they wanted to test out, or some shit like that going on.
They would tell, like, do you really think that the government's gonna be sneaking around the?
I do think
these little Pueblo ass fucking farmers in Puerto Rico.
I do think the government be fucking releasing stupid balloons just to shoot them down and make everyone think it's aliens. Yeah. Yeah. I think they do all sorts of weird shit just for shits and gigs, dude. Because I think once you're on like that sort of level of strategy, there's nothing that serves just one purpose. Or very, very few things would serve just one purpose. How important would something have to be to expend all of this energy and money and time just for one purpose? No. Everything you do is for many purposes. So if you're going to test some animals for radiation, maybe you're going to spook some farmers too and get some like news stories going.
Yeah.
Why not? I don't know. I don't know why they do the things they do at this point. Scar thinks the OG Chupa is like an alien that got kicked out of its clan, like he's a pariah or something. It's possible. So, what do I got for content? Let's check this out. I got to drink a little more of this tea. My tooth be hurting. The tooth that I smashed at the fest with Doro be hurting, dude. It ain't hurting that bad these days. It usually starts hurting then goes away. I should probably get it looked at. Smashed it into bits. Going into shock at the table. Pulling out shards of tooth. Babe, hold me up for a second. My girlfriend's like... She's like barely 5 feet tall. Trying to hold me up at the table so I don't fall and make a scene. It's a bad look. Alright, so let's go into some content with this boy who be in Papua New Guinea. India, Papua. Yeah, he do look like a homie. I'm very curious about his situation.
To be honest, that could be you, Yakov.
It should be me. I was doing photo edits immediately when I saw it.
Yes, putting yourself in there.
Could have been, should have been, would have been. There's that boy. Let's check this out, dude.
The homie.
Oh, I gotta share it to you, right? Oh, if I do that,
Yeah,
I'm gonna fuck up the whole. You got the video somewhere to?
Yeah, I'm watching it.
All right.
Yeah, I'm watching.
All right. There's nothing really to listen to or anything.
Yeah. So I wanted to point out like how aesthetic this rebellion is.
Yeah, that's my main thing here, most definitely.
We need to send them our T-shirts.
I kind of agree. I do think they would wear them. They would wear almost any shirt you give them, I think. And I've heard stories about that of like people, like athletes go into Africa to like do something and they give out like old T-shirts and the Africans like cry with joy with how awesome they are.
But aren't these like you say African?
Yeah, these are Papua New Guineans.
It's funny because you were the one like correcting me about it the other day.
You're right. When I look at this image, what the fuck do you want me to think? I'm sorry. They got the flag. I don't know what these flags are. All I'm saying is when I see drip like this, I'm thinking African warlord. It's a compliment.
Yeah, so they want the Indonesians out. The Indonesians are lame, apparently.
I mean, they're Muslims. I don't know. They don't have drip like this, that's for sure. Muslims don't believe in drip, as far as I can tell.
These homies want a free Guinea, West Guinea. They have Papua New Guinea, which is already independent, and then they have West Guinea, which Indonesia still has. Now they want all the Indonesians off the island. Well, the Indonesian authority off the island.
I mean, okay, this is all extremely based, I gotta say. Fuck, man. Yeah. If only I could be so cool to kick all the fucking occupiers out of my country. Jesus Christ. And look, if the fucking Navajos started trying to kick my ass out, I'd respect it. Don't get me wrong. I'd respect it.
I mean, like, but you have to understand, like, Indonesia was a culture thriving and stuff, and these people lived a very simple lifestyle, hunter-gatherer lifestyle, and probably up until, like, was it
Tuesday?
Probably the turn is like the modern civilization, probably like in the last like 40 years. Probably.
40 years? I mean, I don't know. Maybe. I'm
not too sure.
Now, I'm sure they've been contacted. I'm sure they've had some resources coming in and out. Yeah. But I mean,
no. But like they're. I think they're looking at everybody else saying like, hey, like I get the assignment now. So. Like, we want our own shit now. We don't want you.
That's true, and it would be the coolest looking country ever.
There is a ethnic. I think there is a racial aspect to this. Obviously,
always is.
Like, the Guineans are Aboriginals, while the Indonesians are South Asian.
These are such a unique people. Why would you want? Who could even dream of diluting that? You know what I mean? They're so unique. They're most similar seemingly to like to Southern Indians or to Australian Aboriginals.
Yeah, they're closer to them.
People talk about like Denisovan traits and shit like that. But I don't know. It's a wonderful thing, I think. I give these people the goddamn land. I think it's a wonderful thing. that there are people who are that unmolested by modernity.
So basically, he's being held hostage right now. They're trying to get money. I don't know if I'm pretty sure everything is maybe all right. Indonesia. It's basically if the Indonesian government has been accused of like hunting down these people, like the Aboriginal people.
Well, this is a situation once again like Australia, where they were treated like fauna.
Yeah, and yeah, so they're sick and tired of that.
Yeah. Let's watch this shit. See if there's anything to listen to here. I don't think there's much.
Yeah, even Scar says that
Papuan military have taken me captive in the fight for Papuan independence.
Why would you do this? Look, they got this video going, and then they turn down the volume of the video so that they can add captions that aren't even what he's saying. Why? I couldn't read because the volume was too loud? Whatever. A New Zealand pilot has been taken hostage in Papuan territory by the West Papua National Liberation Army.
All right.
Captors are demanding independence negotiations with Indonesia, which took control of West Papua. What was that, the 40s? I didn't see it. It was too quick. They'll add those fucking 1969. Nice. They have threatened to kill the pilot if their demands are not met. Thank you, Sunday Times.
Dude, they're fucking armed to the teeth. That's crazy.
I mean, I don't know. They got like 5 guns or whatever. I don't know.
I think the tribal aesthetic with the Kalashnikov is probably the coolest thing.
Dude,
and probably also like a timeless.
It's
thing
very
as well.
very cool. This is like festival drip, dude.
Yeah, the AR is the festival drip.
Yeah, exactly. So this is some new shit. This do be some new shit that be happening, dude. Australian university professor taken hostage in highlands of Papua New Guinea. A police operation is underway to rescue an Australian university professor and 3 researchers taken hostage in the remote highlands of Papua New Guinea, the Pacific Island nation's police commissioner said on Monday evening. Armed criminals have demanded cash in return for releasing the captives, who included 1 foreign citizen and 3 Papua New Guinea students. He described the gunmen as opportunists, and the situation is delicate. So they're being real hard on these guys.
Damn.
The criminals had come from Como in Hela, spotted the university group by chance, and took them into the bush, police said. Manning said the abductors were being offered a way out and would face court if they released the hostages, but failure to comply and resisting arrest could cost these criminals their lives.
They want to label them criminals.
What I heard from this story is that these dudes were actually being real fucking cool to the guy. Yeah, they said they'd kill him if their demands weren't met, but like,
no, but
just pay them. What do they want? Like $1,000?
Their demand is the Indonesians to stop.
That's not
stop
true.
Killing them. No, it is.
That's the general demand, but the actual demand is like, pay us enough money to get by for the next month. I can promise you. That's how this shit works. Which I respect. That's where you start. You have to start somewhere. It's the same thing as when you see like a revolutionary group in America. Like they're like, we're here to bring down the U.S. government and do this and that. But it's like, no, they just want like enough money to operate.
Oh yeah.
Been there.
Do that shit. But yeah, no, that hostage right there, it was actually quite specific. Actually, if I remember right, it was to stop because like what they're doing is they keep on putting the Indonesian government is putting military forces on the border of the Papua New Guinea that because these rebels are running into
Stop playing with your mic. Get your hand off that shit.
the motherfuckers are what do you call it? They're running back into Papua New Guinea. So like they're putting all these motherfuckers up at the border, and they're basically telling us like stop the troop movement into these areas, or we're gonna kill them.
Big gulp. Talking about killing it. Big gulps. Yeah. Well, I mean, I think that's the game that is played. You know, you set big goals, you release the video, and then they get back to you with $1,000. You're like, all right, we cool. We cool for now. I think there's a little bit of that happening, most definitely.
Yeah.
So what do we do now? We want to go into a musical break, and then we can regroup. We can get ready for the next thing. How about that? I got some trip reports. Do a trip report. I want to take a piss. This sounds like a great time to piss, dude. So one thing we want to do is bring live musical performances to this whole bit. Not only playing the music in the corner with the names and everything, so you can see it. I want to make sure we're using small artists that we appreciate, that we know, that want to get out there, that aren't getting enough love. But I also want to be going to shows, talking about that. I want to be recording bits of it so that we can play them here and do like live music at the halfway point. I think we'll do a little bit of that now. I got a live performance from my homies Mum's the Word, live from Beardfest. That's the scene, brother. That's the one. You ready, homie? You ready to do a musical break? And we'll piss and stuff. You mute yourself, okay?
Hell no! Don't tell me what to do.
You fucking mute yourself, motherfucker.
Yeah, asshole.
So, and I'll let this play out. It's like an hour-long video, but we'll let it play out for.
Is it really?
Yeah, I mean it's a whole performance, dude. But we'll see how long.
How long is this break gonna be? Because
well, it's the thing is I do want to feature music. I don't want it to be just 3 minutes. Like I would like to get 10 minutes, 20 minutes in of like. You know, people. I feel like that's a good fucking thing to show people, to share with people.
Yeah, I agree. I do want to see. This. What was it? Mum's the Word.
Mum's the Word. These are the homies, dude. These are the homies, no doubt. Yeah. So let's take a break here. I'm gonna take a leak. I'm gonna take a 10-minute piss, and we'll come back.
He's gonna sit there for 10 minutes, just standing, just.
I could do it. Don't tempt me, dude. But you couldn't sit here and watch 10 minutes of a musical performance? A live performance? Okay. We doing it. We definitely doing it. My shit's all fucked up. So there's that.
Mum's the word.
I'll get it up, boys. Don't you worry about it. Not really what I wanted to do, but I guess it'll have to work now.
attention growing as they want. What is it that they search for? What's he got to hide? Follows on up the stairs as I replay, staring at the rain melting door as the child reaches through. He's right outside my window, staring at the rain, right past the stranger looking in. Just for a moment, tension starts to break, feelings start to fade. Rising from the river, greeted by the warm soil, crawling along the bank, out of the river. I look to see the sign between the trees. Tell me I found my way home. Imperial Meadow. Imperial Meadow. Imperial Meadow. Imperial Meadow.
How you feeling about this vibe, homie? Flame. Flame!
Yeah. You hear me?
Yeah, dude.
Alright.
Did you hear the music that I was playing?
Yeah, I'm watching it.
Cool. How you feel about that? How you feel about that vibe?
There's the echo from the fucking, yeah, I was fucking with me. I was like, hold up. And so, like, yeah, dude, it's pretty, they're pretty good. It's one of those, tracks, like, you don't really tell when the song ends.
That's jam band shit, most definitely.
Yeah, so I definitely like that. It's like a journey. It's fun. They're a fun band.
I think it's important to express the vibe here. Now, like when you see a crowd like this, like there are dudes, there are chicks, there are old people, everyone getting down.
Yeah.
That's from like, I don't know, spending so much time in these like internet circles. Like it's just millennial dudes and like some Zoomers.
I do have to express that I am a man of culture. I do like this. Like I said, it's fun. This the whole vibe that everyone's hippie jam band and all that. I do want to bring like some other kind of like a little bit opposite.
Yeah, I'll tell you, when you go in the punk and metal scenes, it's a very similar thing. There are attractive women, there are dudes, there are older people.
What I'm trying to say is like, viewer, like, if this wasn't your taste, there is more to come. Believe me.
I don't want any.
We're not going to put ourselves like only in this genre, guys.
Yeah, I don't want any limitation as far as what music we can vibe to in this whole fucking thing. I want it to be everything. Like I'm gonna get some hip hop going. Like, I'm gonna get Humble Among shit. I'm gonna get the punk shit. I'm gonna get the fucking metal. I'm gonna get the hippie shit. I'm gonna get the psytrance. Because I love it all. God damn it. I enjoy music, and that's like a big thing I feel like I've been missing. I would always play music during fucking streams and shit like that, but like never got a chance to focus on it the way I want to. I want to get back to making music is another thing I want to do, and it's important to bring the scene, because dude, there's like women and cool people and like honestly answers to a lot of the problems that people have in their little circles. Everyone wants their little tribe, their little circle, and they make their little circle, and then it's full of nothing but like neckbeard dudes. It's no good. Make your tribe. It's got to include all sorts of people. So I'm trying to do that through music, because that's one way you can do that.
Like we also want like the Skinwalker gang is the call to adventure. So like as any like story or adventure or any epic, any individual in your life, you're going to meet a lot of people. You're going to meet a lot of different people, and if you're not meeting a lot of different people, there's something wrong. You're probably hanging out in the same spot too much. You need to go let's say get seasoned a little
and
bit.
I'm like not a let's go meet people kind of guy. I'm not, but that's why it's so important to make these things happen like once a month.
I'm introverted as fuck. The real me is I'm a very introverted, chill, like, that very, very simple man. This whole extroverted, like going out of my way shit, like, it's not, I can do it, but I'm telling you, like, I'm more of an introvert, like the real me.
And it's something that I think for at least the vast majority of people, like, it's difficult putting yourself out there and going and meeting people, and it's difficult. It just is. And like that's why you benefit so much from it.
Yeah,
And it's the people who do that shit all the time. They're the only ones who have an easy time doing it, just because it's what they do all the time. Same thing as just like talking online. Like, I don't know, dude. A lot of people when they're streaming, they're like nervous the first time, obviously, even if it's 5 people listening. But it's like, I don't know, that it makes you grow, having to communicate, express yourself, having to hang in those conversations, having to pretend that you are somebody, even if you're not.
Yeah. I mean, well, you gotta be confident.
And that's one of the most fun thing about festivals is
Yeah,
you can pretend to be whatever you want. Nobody will really question it.
What? What do you mean? What did you tell me?
Dog, you're meeting a bunch of people for the first time and they're all on drugs. You can say whatever you want. You can be whoever you want. You can say your name is whatever you want. You can
To be honest, dude, like I, you know, the funny thing, just be who you are, in my opinion. But like, if you're a complete fucking dork, then maybe you should take back off some ice.
Well, no, I think most people have to kind of fake it till they make it. Nobody's just gonna be the cool guy. Like, even if you have shit to talk about, like, you're looking at it like, I don't have anything to say. Like, you probably do. You just have to pretend to be cool guy with shit to say till it's real.
No, sometimes you don't have to say shit, dude.
That's true too. You gotta know when to shut your goddamn mouth. You're saying too much dumb shit.
Yeah.
That's true.
Let me hit this shit, bro.
let me rip this shit, dog. Let's rip it. Shit status. Shit status ripped. If anybody asks, yeah, I ripped it. Yeah, I'm eating my Delta 9 fucking gummies. Yeah, I'm drinking. Yeah, I drank my magic potion. I'm checking off the list, bro. I'm checking them off. Yet notice everything I'm doing is healthy. It's all healthy for me. It's good for me. That's what you don't understand, you know? I use nicotine as a stimulant, you see. I use modafinil as a stimulant. I use LSD as a stimulant! We got Pengus in the chat. Pengus going hard out there, dude. He be listening to weird music. Turn off your music. Listen to my music, homie.
What's Pengus saying? What is he saying?
Don't worry about that right now. Never worry about that. Alright, let's go into some other content then, dude. Let's get this music playing. Make this other music stop playing.
I know we just had a break.
Huh?
I know we just had a break, bro, but I gotta get another break. I'm dying over here.
Alright. Be hitting. That's what happens. You hit that shit, gotta get a drink. How it works. Don't argue with it, dude. Scar says, you guys party hard as fuck. This ain't nothing. This ain't nothing. If you could only see... Look, dude. I'll be shameless right now. All these little boys, you got about 1 billion of them. About 1 billion of them laying around over here. Do you got more of them? These little fucking kratom shots, dude. It is not till I've drank 2 of these that I'm partying hard. Give me 2 of these. Give me 2 modafinil, a bottle of liquor, a bunch of edibles. I'm gonna need like 3 vapes with all different chemicals in them. Yeah. Then we're partying hard. Then I'm drooling. Oh. Sometimes that's the point. See, what you don't understand is that's good for me. It's actually good for me. I hear this shit's gonna fucking destroy my liver. Stop doing them. I don't know. They cost too much money anyway. Fuck. Where was I? Let's figure out what we're doing next here, dude. I've got... Now, a lot of people, let's talk about this real quick. A lot of people think that I'm a solipsist. I'm not a solipsist. My view is that, you know, the only things that you can know for sure are, and I say that, that's like the definition of solipsism. The only things that you have even a chance, not know for sure, you don't know anything for sure. The only thing you have a chance of knowing is what you experience and decode in your own mind. And I think because that's the case, it follows, and it, practically speaking at least, that it all emanates from you. It's all in you already. It's never been outside of you. You have like empty fucking space outside of you. You got like empty ass electrons pushing back on each other and stuff, dude. That's all you got. You can't touch anything. There's nothing there. You are it. You are an intrinsic part of all of it, and it can't exist without you because it's all just empty space requiring an observer. So, because the only things you can know are the things that you experience, it follows that it all comes from within you, not outside of you. Now let's go to the definition of solipsism. What would they say? What would the definition people say about solipsism is my question. So, the philosophical idea that one's mind is sure to exist. An epistemological position, solipsism holds that knowledge of anything outside one's own mind is unsure. The external world and other minds cannot be known and might not exist outside the mind. Sounds a lot like what I'm saying, right? Important distinction. I don't exist any more than you exist. Not only do you not exist, and none of the material reality around me exist, I don't exist. So practically speaking, my foundation is going to be my you know, point of observation is going to be from what I experience. It has to be. That's the only rational way to do it. That doesn't necessarily mean that I exist at all. Because I am made of the same things as all of the things that I'm convinced don't exist. Which part is me? My brain? Which cell? Which thought? Which idea is me? The ones that are all different than they were 10 years ago? Which part is me? I am all of it, and none of it. It all exists as one, and totally doesn't exist as anything. There can only be 1 or 0, and they're the same thing. There can never be 2, 3, 4. All an illusion. 2 men sit on the couch. One lives, one dies. There was only one guy! There was only one guy! There can only be one absolute objective reality. And what, you have it? Oh, wow. It's all of us. It's everybody. Everything.
I think you're, Are you fucked up, Yakov?
A little bit. I'm explaining solipsism.
You're explaining solipsism?
Yeah. You missed it.
I missed that. Yeah, I did miss a lot of it.
They say I'm a solipsist because I say that the only things you can know are what you experience with your own mind. However, a solipsist believes their mind exists. I don't.
Oh, you're taking that to a metaphysical thing.
Imagine that.
People who like are solipsists.
It is an epistemological position, a philosophical stance. It's what that is, and you can.
Well, some people like.
It's just called narcissism.
It affects them in a way that like, they're just incapable of seeing another person's point of view.
I think that's just narcissism. Solipsists think too hard about this shit. Narcissists don't think at all. They take it as a given that they're the only thing that matters. Because why not? Why wouldn't it be?
Obviously, all of that sounds exactly the same.
Well, we're back to the distinction between 1 and 0. Yeah, it's the same thing. It's all the same shit. Yeah. All right. Where was I
don't
going
know.
with this?
Are you calling yourself a narcissist? Is that because it's all?
I think the illusion of duality is narcissism. At least neurosis at its very core. The thought that there's anything separate from me at all. And that's not like me is in my body and my thoughts. No, I am the table.
Oh, being neurotic as well. Like the agitation of like something that's
The
out of
identification with the
control.
ego is neurosis,
Yeah.
is what I would say. Now, neurosis, obviously, that
Did you
puts
say
a wrong spin on it.
identification with it?
Yeah. Yes. Now, neurosis is a weird word to use because it implies brain, and I'm like going beyond brain here. However, I think the application holds just fine. It's almost as if our brain isn't the thing at all.
The brain is just an operating interface for our souls.
Yeah.
So, I mean, without it, we'd just be a consciousness, like escaping back to the source.
Sounds pretty sweet, doesn't it?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Hopefully, it gets there.
It will.
Gets
Once
there
we
just
break
fine.
free of all of this fucking neurosis.
Yeah.
The identification with the ego, the very idea of duality itself. All has to be thrown in the trash. Now it's like, how do you live without identifying with your ego? And the answer, according to the sages, is mindfulness. And, I don't know, I have a better word than bhakti yoga. So mindfulness as in, whatever you're doing, do it to the best of your ability. And now, I guess, we'll just go with mindfulness then. I'll spin bhakti yoga right into it. Do whatever you're doing to the best of your ability without identifying as the doer and expecting nothing as a result of the doing. That is how you exist free of ego. Does that sound doable, Flame?
Honestly, the shrooms got me fucked up right now.
Well, me too, a little bit. It happens.
But could you tell me, ask me the question again? What was the question?
Never identify yourself as the actor and never expect anything as a result of the actions. By doing that, you live with no ego and free of karma.
Yeah, serving. Yeah, definitely.
It's like when people talk about being in the zone, when you're like just killing it at what you're doing and you're not thinking, you're not in time and space, you are just doing. It's that.
Like it takes a lot for the only way I could really explain it in terms for people that may not understand, but being a father, I definitely feel it, and being able to extend that fatherly strong masculine power, that energy, and being able to have that ability for other people, to extend that to other people. Like that's also kind of like the techniques behind shamanism as well, is to use that that be able to like have that nurturing, that mindfulness, the things that like that they a selfish person doesn't really have those kind of concepts forthcoming, because they're obviously puts their own needs in front.
Well,
Definitely, like that mindset is definitely something that's cultivated, and
one thing that has helped a lot with that, in my view, is looking at God, however you want to define that, however you want to see that, as mother or father. Something that seems so obvious, but you really, really see it, understand it, like focus on it till you get it.
It's also exemplified through example.
Well, what I'm saying is, once you can see God as mother or father and really love it, see yourself as a child, knowing that all things are children of God, suddenly knowing what the crimes are, like, against those children, against God as a loving mother or father, then you can start to reflect that.
Yeah.
When you know what is right and wrong from that perspective, only by knowing how the earth is your mother, how the absolute is your father. That, because otherwise, and like I say all the time, like, people need a philosophical foundation for what they believe. I feel like people are very much lacking that. People who sit there and they'll talk about philosophy all fucking day are lacking that because they don't actually, like, really believe anything. And it's like that. It's the same thing. You need that foundation of, like, nature, the universe, the absolute, the ethereal. Understand that as mother and father, and then you will know why mother and father exist materially. What is that an expression of?
Yeah.
Going back to things emanating from within, not from without.
I want to give, like, probably, like, let's have, like, a custom. Anybody who's listening to this, it's very simple. Very simple. It'll help you practice, like, mindfulness, especially like, how the Japanese, they have, like, the tea ceremony is, I see that as a focus of mindfulness, all of that. And in the Skinwalker gang culture, let's have the bong session, the smoking sessions. Let's have mindfulness of. I will pack. One person would pack the fucking bong.
Smoking peace
all
pipe.
The time. Hey, if you have a guest, you pack it for them. You make sure it's if, like, they hit greens, like, you gotta pack it for them. Like, it's the same concept that
Be serving them all, dude.
That the Japanese do, the fucking was it the tea thing? Just adopt, like, the same concepts of that. It's like, these concepts of mindfulness.
Just pack that fucking bowl already. That's the tradition.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. So that's our tea time.
Mugwort says nothing is real, but everything matters. That's one way to look at it, definitely. I think that's the thing, is, like, you in this shit. You a real human. You in this shit, dude. And it's only the things that you do that matter. Even though it's nothing, even though it literally doesn't exist. Like, this is for a purpose. It's happening for a reason. You don't know what it is. Can't tell you what it is. I think another thing that's very important is, like, the only place that you exist in any, like, I don't know what the word is here, but any static sense is in other people's minds, in your interaction with them. So if you want that to be, like, a positive thing, you have to have positive interactions with people. The only thing, like, I am a very subjective concept. You, very subjective concept. This thing going on between us, little more objective. It's a little more objective because it's got both of us.
As individuals, right? You mean subjective?
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Identifying as an individual is identification with the ego.
That's true.
It is. That is it. That's the neurosis. That's the neurosis. So it's when you understand that, like, I am very subjective, very relative, very changing. Like you are too. Very transitory, very fleeting. But this thing between us, when we start talking, it is more objective than either of us are alone. Yeah. Now, when you build a fucking tribe, and you get everyone on that wavelength, you got that thing between you, it starts to become a very objective thing, a very real thing. That's how, like, manifestation of concepts and ideas works. That's how you build your compound.
Interesting.
The idea of Aggregor, Thoughtforms. I think some of the things that we see as like demons, entities, they only exist in those forms because so many of us have given them that form. I think the very emotions themselves that we all share, when all of us as a society are anxious, that anxiety manifests in a personified way that you can fucking conjure and experience. I think it's never been more clear than with AI art. With AI art, I don't think it's actually art, but I'm not saying that as in like support your local artist. You should support your local artist, but that's not the point. What AI art actually is divination. It's bringing up things that are just under our subconscious, just beneath the subconscious of society. Things that we can't do it. You can't put it to pen and paper. You can't put it into words. Yet we all know it. And we just assume it's a given. So we just go about our day as it's just a given. Well, with certain concepts in AI art, you will begin to see characters coming up over and over again who are like adjacent to certain ideas. You can look up Loab, Loab. Look up videos on YouTube about Loab. Loab is like she looks like a mutilated woman who appears in a lot of darker AI-generated art. I've seen Walter. Walter is a name that's been given to a critter that comes up in like positive stuff, like happy images, cute images, like delicious food. Walter comes up in that, and he's like a little he's a little critter, dude. He's like a little, I don't know what to describe, like a little aardvark guy. I don't know what the hell to even call him. You can find these characters. There's like people talking about it online now. These are the demons, the Aggregor, the Thoughtforms. I don't know what to call them, but like they are the personification of these ideas that we didn't even know was there. How many things like that in our mythology and our cultures and our symbolism are like that? A lot of them that you can directly point to and say that's what this is. How much of it that we just take for granted and we don't even notice because it's so ingrained. I don't know. You know, it becomes so ingrained that you forget it. It doesn't matter. We all share it. No, it's when you understand that these things can be used for good or ill that you can start affecting change in society through memes, propaganda, through media, through whatever means. And this is what the people at the top understand these concepts like very, very clearly. And they're trying to bring about certain thought forms, a shared consciousness, knowing what it does, knowing what it conjures. And you just don't let them do it. Don't let them tell you what to think, to feel. I see everyone out there, man. There's a lot of like just ideas floating, like the anti-woman stuff, just being generally anti-woman as a joke. Like these are things that are seeded into your mind to make you less effective, more afraid to conjure the specific thing that they're trying to conjure. Which often, these days, seems like they're trying to conjure lone wolf shooters.
The alienation.
Just don't feed into the negative shit, man. And here's the thing: is like the entirety of like meme culture has been co-opted and astroturfed, totally, to the point where, well, it started as like a real thing. At some point, there was like genuine, attempts at this shit. People were real excited when they realized how much power was behind it. Well, real quickly, all the corporate entities started doing it. And now it's like, oh yeah, we spot them when some fucking when Planters Peanuts does a meme campaign on fucking Twitter. It's like, oh yeah, but like, how much of this shit do we not see? How much did we not catch? Because it was pretty good, actually. How much of it? You don't know, but I'll tell you, I know it's a lot. And like the anti-woman thing is one that really gets to me. That's a fucking big issue. It's a serious fucking problem. But yeah, and at this point, what really tips it off to me is that you cannot show this shit to normal human beings who were not part of it and like get them anymore. It won't happen. It's over. There's other ways to do it. It's not like you can't reach people through media and ideas, but you can't show them the old meme formats. Because now, either like regular people who never got involved with that will see you as either an incel or a boomer. Like, that's what that shit is for now. And I think that was the purpose, was to declaw it all. To make sure that there was total stagnation. We're using the same meme formats that we've been using for fucking 15 years. Make sure we accentuate all of the worst aspects of it. I don't know. And another... Shitlords are really good at memes. Shitlords also have really fucking bad attitudes, dude. You weaponize the autism. It's like... 40 chests, they'll flip the script on you real quick. And I think that's what happened. That's what happened. All of the meme shit... It's just a turnoff to regular society.
They don't get it. It's just that they don't get it.
But there's nothing to get anymore. Image macro, text on image.
The thing about, like you said, like the lone shooter thing is that these guys are alienated. And then within that alienation, there's the whole nation of this
nation of alienation.
Yeah. So like it feeds into itself, and it's because like we have needs that just aren't being met. They have needs that just aren't being met.
Dog,
and then
y'all a bunch of fucking rats. Y'all a rat experiment to these people. Y'all a Norwegian rat colony, dude.
Dude, I could promise you. Dude,
we are the beautiful ones, dude.
The funny thing is, like, the incels, like, they want to place too much value on too much of their self value on getting a woman. Like,
I don't know. I can't tell what the fuck these people are doing anymore. They memed themselves into being homosexual. I don't even.
It's like it is like a fucking spell casting, dude. Like if they wanted to turn themselves gay, they would make a meme about it.
They literally did. They fucking They made these niggas hate women so much. And watch so much pornography that they became the women.
Gender dysphoria. Damn, dude. I don't know.
Scar asked in the chat, wait, who are you guys talking about specifically? I'm talking about the internet right. And how the entirety of, like, the last talking points, the last shelling points, the last grifters, the last talking heads left, all of them are just homosexuals. And the whole thing, I swear to God, the whole thing came from fucking Milo. I think so much of what we see as the alt-right was, like, a weird plan by Milo. I think like 70 fucking percent of it, dude. I think Milo Yiannopoulos.
What are you talking
It sounds
about?
crazy,
You
dude.
gave that dickhead way too much credit, dude.
I don't think so.
Explain yourself, Yakov.
He was like one of the first alt-right figures. There's no denying that. There's no denying that.
Dude, I remember
Now,
that.
you would like to think that early on, we like Milo got kicked out of it or whatever for being a homo, and it's like, no, he's been here the whole time. And first of all, you know that because he was fucking around with Roger Stone, who was like one of Trump's closest fucking confidants and advisors.
Yeah.
When motherfucking Kanye wanted to go to dinner with Donald Trump, you know who made that happen?
Milo?
Milo made that happen. You know who he brought with him?
What was that? The cat boy?
Nick Fuentes.
Yeah, Nick Fuentes.
He made a complete meme and of the whole thing, a complete farce from the beginning, knowingly, so the whole thing would shit the bed. So like we know that's his style.
You have to like go way further back.
Dog, I am giving you a recent example of what he does. He was behind the rise of Fuentes. He was behind the rise of Baked Alaska. He was right there at Unite the Right. He was one of the main guys with that. So it's not like I'm saying like he was giving the talking points to like, you know, your right-wing podcaster or whatever. But he was like behind all of these shelling points where all of these points were coming and disseminating. All of them. And then like now Baked Alaska, he busts into the fucking into the Capitol building and he gets arrested or whatever. He's going to prison for 60 days. Motherfuckers are going to prison for 8 years over that. This is a guy in Milo's pocket. Milo, the same guy who has a hard drive with all of his blackmail material on it that he'll just show on stream and talk about. He was involved with all of these like those like up and coming right wing figures, like the worst ones. He was behind all of them. He's in Trump's ear somehow. He was hanging out with Roger fucking Stone. He was at Unite the Right. He was with fucking with Richard Spencer. He is like a tiny fucking Epstein. Is what he is. And it's like, do you think Epstein ever gave a shit about politics? I sincerely doubt it. Let me guess what his politics were. I like Israel, give me money. Is that it? Probably it. I like having sex with children. Like, if you want to add that to his political bit, you can kind of do that, I guess. Don't clip that out of context. I was talking to Jeffrey Epstein, and you all know it. But, so, when you have a guy like Milo, what the fuck are his politics? Stir shit, be gay, probably have sex with children. Give him money. That's his politics. That's who the movers and shakers are, dude.
It's fucking losing me on all this shit, dude.
I'm telling you, dude, that it's always like these people are the sorcerers.
Dude, shut your ass up, dude.
And you're gonna sit here and you're gonna act like you've had more impact than Milo Yiannopoulos, the guy who was in Trump's ear, able to get dinners with Trump. That guy knows what's going on 10 million times more than Trump did, and he was in his ear.
I'm not gonna call him a sorcerer.
That's who they are. You look at these people. This is exactly what you would expect them to fucking look like. Fucking weirdo wizards with bleached hair and fucking jewelry on, like cross-dressing and shit. This is what they are. What did you expect them to look like? The robe and a long beard? No. Not today. Not today.
Oh, man. what's their grift like? Being conservative? No, like it's for him. It's the kind of men that we are. Like that's a turn on to him. That's so terrible, dude. What the fuck?
Dog, they are literally trying to manifest a world with cat boys and stuff.
No, dude. Like
The cat boy ranch, dude. That's what they want.
they all want men, but men.
I don't think it's so much about that. I do think there is an attempt that everyone has to be a sexual deviant because otherwise you can't get dirt on them. You have to be a sexual deviant if you're going to be in the web. It's not so much about what you prefer. Just that you are fucking able to be blackmailed.
Able to be blackmailed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, and you can basically take any guy and turn him into a sexual deviant. Give him enough drugs and enough stimulation.
Like what do you mean? You paint a picture for me. Like
Of what? Which part?
So like the deviant, like what if somebody's just like
Oh, you know how
Just
deviation
open, like,
goes. You
open
deviate a little bit, and suddenly you've deviated a whole lot. You know how it be? How much meth do you have to give someone before they've completely deviated from what's normal to them? And suddenly you can blackmail them. I don't know. Enough meth and booze, you can do it. One way or the other. You'll find something that they're...
Yeah.
You just will.
And they're
Just will.
ashamed of it.
Well, of course. Everyone is.
No, the man without
deviation.
shame. There are these people out there. People without shame. The man without shame. A shameless man. Society has no control over this individual. Like nobody has any control over this individual. It's almost he probably is the self-realized man.
These people don't live very long. They might be the self-realized man, but they don't live very long.
I don't know, dude.
Who's
They
totally
live
shameless
long
like that?
enough.
Who lives a long, healthy life? Name one. I can think of some like shameless motherfuckers who I can ascribe like mystical fucking abilities to or something, but they didn't live very long to show them off, dude. Like Gigi Allen is pretty good at throwing poop at the audience. Like there's something in that. There's something other than poop in that. If you can see the poop like metaphorically. But he didn't live very long. And he wore women's clothing too, dude. That's what the wizards do for some reason. I don't know. It's a thing. I don't do it. I don't really practice magic. That's one thing I'm realizing is like motherfuckers, they have like their step-by-step process to becoming immortal. It's like first you have to drink the fucking mushroom tea. Then you gotta suck your stomach in and out like this. And then you gotta fucking go meditate under the fucking full moon. Then you gotta do and it's like, dude. And at every point of the process, I'll be like, why? And then you get to the next part. Why? And maybe eventually you'll get to the point where he's like, well, then you're immortal. Be like, why?
It's
fucking
glitches.
Why, dude? Why would I want to do this?
It's a glitch in the Matrix. It's like the cheat code and super like in San Andreas. Like you put the cheat code in, your character's like moving all around, all weird, and like all of a sudden weird shit just starts happening. It's like it's the same shit, dude. The simulation shit. Like
I believe all of this spell casting. Now, to a degree, we're all doing it constantly, and that's part of the mindfulness, not identifying as yourself, not trying to look for anything as a result of your actions. Like that's trying to fight all of that because we're constantly casting spells and influencing other people. It affects our karma like crazy. Yeah, these people who are doing this shit, for, whether it's Milo fucking propagandizing the entire internet, whatever the fuck, or whether it is, you know, the guy fucking, like, doing the alchemical spell step by step like it's a recipe. All of this shit incurs karma one way or the other. And you can ask, like, how does that incur karma with the guy who's just doing his own thing? But, like, these people are, like, nutballs who do this stuff. Like, they're affecting people. They be out there. They doing it. Like, if they're willing to go through those steps, like, they're probably casting spells and shit like that. So, like, it's affecting people. And I don't know, like, what is a spell exactly. Like, if I like light these candles and say this phrase, like, it magically goes and, like, now their dick starts shrinking or something. And, like, no. That's how the Africans kind of see it when they have like a penis stealing wizard in the village. The way it actually works is that, like, your mind form is interacting with other people, like, all the time. It's affecting them all the time. Mm-hmm. You affect them somehow to the point, and maybe using fucking candles and mantras and the moon. I don't fucking know. I don't know how all this works exactly. Suddenly they start to believe that their penis is shrinking. Next thing you know, because their body is listening to their mind, which is listening to their consciousness, which is everything, that thing starts retracting into their body bit by bit, dude. They don't know what's going on. And the only answer is that there's a penis-stealing wizard in the village. But I do think that's how it actually works, is that you influence other people's mind. They just make them think shit. Make them think that shit was their idea. Fuck. Bro, talk about the South American gnomes when you have the chance. That stuff is funny. That'd be worth going back to and watching all the old videos, because none of that stuff is, like, copyrighted or anything.
Let's do it.
I'll say this. Grow tomatoes in your garden to keep the little people at bay, is what they say in South America. Those are really funny videos. Oh,
they hate tomatoes.
Mugwort says, part of me thinks most people aren't there at all. That's not a good way to think. Because I feel the same. I've many times have felt the same way, that, like, I feel like a lot of people are just automatons. They're just there to kind of stand in my way. Like, there's obviously no consciousness to this. There's obviously not. It ain't a healthy way to look at it. Whether it's true or not, we don't know. There is talk of that in different schools of thought. Gnosticism talks about that sometimes. You can hear about that in certain schools of Buddhism. I think the much healthier way to go about it is to look at everyone as a reflection of yourself, to see yourself in everyone. The things you don't like in other people are things that you have not liked in yourself. The things you really admire in other people are things you have or would like to see in yourself. I think that's the much healthier way to go about it. And when you deal with people like that, just treat them like children. What more can you do?
Oh, man.
You be feeling it?
Yeah,
Dog over here, feeling it!
I'm feeling it, dude. Like, I was, when I went to go get the fucking thing, I felt like I was like gonna have like a shamanic, like, fall to my knees, like, experience. So I was like, oh shit.
Did you weigh that thing?
Huh?
Did you weigh that thing?
It had to be that fucking 3. That was probably an 8th. That little chode was an 8th altogether. So yeah, I got a bunch of big ones. All of them are huge. I can pull them out if you want.
I mean, no, probably not. Probably not. Don't pull it out. Don't whip it out right now, dude.
Yeah.
So Corny in the chat says, "What if you just think everyone is really gross?" I know that's not the case, because I'll go to places like the Gathering of the Juggalos where everyone is really gross. I feel great. I'm having a great time, and I love everybody. And then,
it's like the vibe, obviously.
It's all vibes.
But it's like, because there was like that fat chick that kept on coming around. You probably didn't even notice. Did you notice?
What?
like there was always this like fat chick like coming around us.
Wouldn't have noticed.
Oh, I guess I was the only one that noticed.
He's being gang stalked by fat women.
Yeah.
Oh,
Chick that would always like like she would always like find herself like near us. I was like, is this weird? And she would always be hit like I was always had one in my hand, so I was just like, all right, you want and then I could tell that she wanted more than that. I was just like, all right, you need to go away, please. I was being nice. I was just like, it's the gathering because like I could tell she wanted some more. Like I was not gonna be daddy there. So
yeah, we're talking about the gathering. I love everyone there, but it's also like interactions when I like meet somebody and we click immediately, and it's like we clicked before we even clicked. You know what I mean? Like you just know, and like shit like that. It's telling me I'm feeling. Well, I think what I'm feeling is karmic, honestly. Largely to other people, that's what I feel. I think we deal with the same people over and over again, essentially. Switching places, taking turns, so that we understand each other better, have a more objective perspective. I do think that's happening. I think, you know, like right now you could be a father with a daughter, then the next time around, like you're the daughter and she's like the grandfather or something. It's like shit like that. I think there's a lot of that shit happening.
Yeah, absolutely. Sometimes I actually kind of feel like that with my even with my daughter. Actually, I feel like that. I feel like there was such a resemblance between her and my grandmother. It was because she passed away a lot. What do you call it? She passed away a long time ago, way before my daughter was born, and then I had the crazy thing is she talks like my mother, which is weird. Like the way like she enunciates everything down. So like I feel like that definitely is there's something there to what you're saying. Talking from experience.
Yeah, it's hard to say because like there's a genetic aspect to it, obviously, and then but like how deep does that genetic aspect go? Like does it go to things like memories? Like it could. And then it's like if that happens, then it just opens up so much more. I think there's a whole other side to it that is karmic. Corny says, I missed you fellers. Is Matt still alive? I think Matt is alive, out there being salty or something. I don't know.
He chose
the dark side.
Well, I sometimes I feel like he regressed, but I'm over here talking like I'm his fucking shrink.
Oh, dude, you can listen to the audio. Matt got really mad when I said he had wet brain. I don't know if he has wet brain. I'm just talking. I hope he is.
Wet brain, yeah.
It's another thing is Matt is like welcome back to hang out. What content would I do with Matt? I don't know. I don't fucking know what the hell. But like the thing is, he demands an apology.
An apology? That what? Dude, like
I got nothing. I don't know. Sorry.
An apology, dude. Like it's like like were we being too hard on them? It's more like a brother. I mean, it's like a brother, like brothers do to each other. It's like a criticism. Like I guess he was the only child or something. If he didn't have siblings like that. Well, I mean, like I don't know. If he can't handle like that, you know.
It became that's it though. Is it became from every angle. So many people were saying it to him. Then I said I said I thought he had wet brain, and he got super mad at me because it was one person he directed at. I don't know if he has wet brain or not, but he sure sounded like shit. I don't know. Chat's saying he's a super mutant in the Ohio wasteland. He out there. Apologize for what? Not being a total nerd? Exactly.
He's a high-level super mutant.
He's a, what do they call them boys? He's a glowing super mutant or some shit. Irradiated super mutant. He mutated mid-battle and got like twice as strong. Broken boys.
You fucking said that.
We'll shoot it. We'll do the shoot. Well, it'll piss him off. I'll post it on Twitter, and he'll at that point have no choice but to have somebody else reach out to me to say it was mean, to tell me I'm being a mean guy. Come on now. There's something that brings so much joy. Look at this child's face. This child of God, Flame. How much joy it brings to his face. You're gonna tell me I'm being mean? Come on now. People dropping lore in chat I don't even want to talk about right now. I don't blame Matt for anything that happened in the past. He's just he's an idiot. I don't know.
No, dude, like, you gotta take some responsibility in, like, how you're living, dude. Like, if you have no money, then that's because you're not doing anything that's generating money. So, like, go do something that, you know, get a job. That's what a lot of people do.
Yeah.
Some people have side hustles, you know, like,
For sure.
do something.
Maybe even have to walk to your job. Maybe it would even be beneficial.
I understand the solace of the internet to be something that, like, we will retreat into the community and all that stuff. Yeah, I spent many hours browsing 4chan. I used to be a big 4chan guy. Partook in like some devious activities. Operation fucking Harpoon and stuff like that. I remember that.
Dude, it's half my inspiration for being here, wanting to do content that's like more uplifting. And I'm sitting here doom-pilling everybody on the Doom podcast or whatever. But the point is, like, I want to equip people with the knowledge to be more effective, to the ability that I can. Actually, I'm not claiming much ability to do that, but I know I've been in these circles enough to know that I have something to say. So it's like when I'm real talk, when I'm at a festival with Matt, I drug his ass there. I paid for that ticket. I made him come to that fucking thing. I drove hours out of my way on a 14-hour trip to get his ass. Paid $500 fucking to get his ass on stage to meet ICP and all that shit. And it's like, dude, I can't even like get this shit across to homie then. I don't know. Makes you just want to rage harder, try harder.
Like, you gotta be a boss ass motherfucker. You gotta, I mean, that was boss ass of him too.
The whole thing is boss. The whole gathering thing, the fact that it's continuing, so fucking dope. Shit to talk about. You think I'll ever go into a social situation ever again with nothing to say? Fuck no. I've been to the gathering, dude. I got so many fucking stories.
No, we're here to fucking experience, dude. Like, you have to always talk about something, dude. Like, fuck.
My point is, it's like good when the more experiences you have, the more equipped you are to go deal with the social settings. It snowballs. Then suddenly you have a GF.
It's like, yeah, dude. Because she sees something. She sees something in you guys, and that's the thing. Like, at first.
Corny, confirmed for federal baloney in the chat. Yeah, federal baloney. We'll go with that, dude.
Who?
No, let's not go on. It's just federal baloney, dude. No need to elaborate on the deep lore, the hidden meanings, the esoteric meanings of anything.
Of the federal baloney?
Yeah. Esoteric federal baloney. I'm glad I got you boys. All the chat, you guys are homies, dude. Fucking, there might only be like 3 of you, but the point is that you are homies, loyal homies. Love you guys. Shit, we gotta do a little more content here, I think. Give me a whoop whoop in the chat also. I could use a whoop whoop.
Woo woo.
Whoop whoop. Nothing better, dude. The story of taking a shower in the trailer at the gathering, and like someone else opens the door on me, and like whoop whoop, and they close it. Wrong one, homie, but I'll whoop you anytime, dude. Yeah. So what do we want to talk about here? Should I do a trip report? That's probably the way to go, right? I don't want to like open any can of worms that we have to spend forever talking about. I think I might only have cans of worms. All right, let's go over the autonomous entity wiki on psychonautwiki.org. I think this will be a good place that we can kind of leave it off, and it'll give us a lot to talk about. This might take forever to go through, so fuck it. I'm here for it, dude. You think I'm going to bed? I'm not. Okay. Autonomous entity. An autonomous entity is defined as the experience of perceived contact with beings which appear to be sentient and autonomous in their behavior. These entities can manifest within both external and internal hallucinations. Autonomous entities will frequently act as the inhabitants of a perceived independent reality. Although many entities seem largely unaware of a person's presence, they are often precognizant of a person's appearance into their realm and usually choose to interact with them in various ways. The behavior of a typical entity can vary wildly and seem to depend heavily on one's current emotional state. For example, while many entities will act as loving beings, teachers, or healers, in certain contexts they are equally capable of acting as indifferent, uncaring, or even as malicious tormentors. Entities can take any form, but subconscious archetypes are present and commonly include humans, shadow people, bodiless super intelligent humanoids, aliens, elves, animals, giant spheres, insectoids, beings of light, anthropomorphic beings, plants, conscious inanimate objects, fictional characters, cartoons, Sleep on 97, robotic machines, gods, demigods, goddesses, biomechanical intelligences, hooded figures, demons, indescribable monstrosities, spirits, angels, shamans, ghosts, souls, ancestors, fantastical or mythological beasts, glitch creatures, and more. You ever seen any of these boys, Flame? Any of them boys?
Dude. I'm just thinking about the shit that's happening in today. Like there was like a dude. I'm sorry, dude. Like I'm like about completely like derailed,
whatever.
Like to say, but like there was I was just having a flashback. There was a dude. Like, I think he's outside. I think he might be homeless, but like he was outside my house, just chilling and sleeping in this car, like across the way, and like he freaked because I have kids and stuff, and he freaked I don't know if he has any association to anybody on the street. And then like the back of my house was like the gate was like open, and that's a gate that I nailed shut like a couple of years ago.
Spooky. This guy's an autonomous entity?
Probably, dude.
That is kind of spooky, actually.
I was thinking about it. I was like, maybe I need to do something in Minecraft.
You sound like my girlfriend when she ate Delta 8 gummies.
What?
Michael Myers is outside. He's out there, dude. I don't know, some shit like that, always.
I had to be vigilant.
For autonomous entities, dude, they be out there causing mischief.
Yeah, you have to be vigilant, bro. Like, my brothers that are listening, you have to be vigilant because the heretics... you have to destroy them.
I've seen shadow people. I've seen disembodied entities that were communicating to me but had no physical form whatsoever. And I say seen, I felt very much them. I seen people with animal heads. I've seen the jungle lady. I think that's everything I've seen. Sometimes, I think this was on high doses of 25i N-Bohm. I would take it and I would sit there. I'm like fucking meditating and feel like I'm like knocking at a door. It's not like the physical feeling of knocking on a door. No, it's like it's a very mental thing. I don't know how to put it into words, but it was that same concept. And like I kept getting like some return, but not the return I wanted. Like I wanted to know what was in that door, so I kept doing it. And eventually,
what do you mean? Like, what is this?
It's just in my mind on acid. I don't know how to even put this shit into words.
Oh, okay. I thought you were doing like some research chemical.
I was. I don't know. It wasn't on. I was on 25i N-Bohm, I think. I don't know. Whatever. But yeah, in my mind, I'm like, I'll find myself like knocking at a door and like waiting for a response. Not always getting the response I want, continuing to knock until I get like a horrifying response, just like overstimulating response, which has happened a few times. Those are some of the most interesting experiences because there was no form, no visual to perceive, no sound, no nothing, except just like the knowledge that I was in something else's space.
So like you said there were no visuals. Like you just like you were closing your eyes.
Yeah. How do you describe this shit? I don't know, dude. How do you do it?
Yeah.
I'm sure I was seeing something. It wasn't like, I don't know, dude. I don't know. Chat wants to know my opinion on trad wives. I say get yourself a dumb girl who just believes the right things because she's dumb and just believes them.
On trad wives, dude, like, trad wives, there's no such thing, bro.
Mugwort says coexisting with other people IRL seems tough. I like to stay as alone as possible and use the internet to trick my brain into thinking I'm not alone. Yeah, that's what they do. That's what the people do. Confirmed.
Dude, there's no such thing as that. Because like all of them,
I'm gonna just get away from this wiki. There's no way we're gonna make this happen right now.
What do you mean?
I was reading this thing, but we're just rambling now. It's fine. Ramble with the chat. That's how we close this off.
The trad wives, like you. That's like an aesthetic. That's like something like made up and marketable, dude. Like the thing is that when it comes down to it, like a woman wants a protector and a provider. Are you able to do all that? And are you decent looking and charismatic to instill like some sort of
This is why I say dumb girl. You just don't want her to think too hard. Just latch on to whatever you're doing. It'll be great.
Yeah, there's some sort of desire there. A dumb girl?
Hell yeah.
I don't know. I can't really say anything about that.
The dumber they come, the better I like them. The dumb ones just want to have fun.
Sure.
Scarby wanted to know about that Hat Man. We'll get some Hat Man content. That'd be good shit to have. Maybe do Hat Man. We'll do autonomous entities next time. Get them Hat Mans. We'll get them gnomes. Get some entities happening, dude. Whole different spin on it. Less cryptid. More
Hat Man entities.
Psychedelic.
Dude, I have a like a crazy experience with entity that is, I would say, was my equal. He was definitely a contemporary. He is I want to. If I could draw him, I'm going to draw
What the
him.
fuck has this
Like,
whole thing has spiraled into some weirdness?
Dude,
We've mushroomed ourselves retarded.
Dude, this is some crazy thing. This is some crazy shit. Like,
I believe you.
it hurts to like. This was during meditations, and like I was not calling to anybody or anything like this or anything like that, and it was like he has red eyes, red eyes, and sectoid, like mass. Ah, dude, I don't even know how to describe it.
It happens, dude. I've seen some negative beings.
There are like some entities out there that are curious. They're curious.
One time I was eating mushrooms and huffing nitrous, and I found myself. I felt like I was wrestling with some other entity over my own consciousness for a moment. I won it easily. This dude popping fucking pimples on his arm live on stream, dude.
There's like this thing that's
it's the fucking the chip the CIA put in there, dude. They'll take it out. It's working. It's doing its bit.
being attacked by bark boys.
Hell yeah. Alright, the CIA is on to us. I think that's a good place to kind of end this, dude. Got them social media links. Make sure you follow that shit. We got fucking cool content coming out on the TikTok, going on the Instagram. We're doing edits of this shit. We having fun out here. You can still fucking pay the Patreon to get into the Discord, and the donation links are active. Everybody knows it. Everybody knows it, dude. Maybe next week we'll have some fucking some chubby machine elves. Seems to be what the chat wants. I got no issue with that. We'll find some autonomous entities to show off for y'all.
Chubby machine elf trad wives.
Whoa, yeah, dude.
Trad wives who happen to be chubby machine elves.
Yeah, we'll get there. We'll figure out. We'll get to the bottom of this mystery, dude. We'll get to the bottoms. Scar says, "Great stream, bros. Thanks. That's what we're aiming for these days instead of trash content, dude."
Dude, your trad wife is the chubby machine elf in your hallucination. There's your trad wife.